Alright guys, welcome back to the channel today. And I want to do a different kind of video today. I want to shine a bit of a spotlight on a series from this season that I think is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm scratching my head watching it like, what the hell are we doing? And that is Harem in the Labyrinth of Another World. Now, this show is absurd. Let me preference that right now by saying this show is ridiculous. Like I said, I'm watching it like, yo, are we doing this right now? So let's talk about it right here or right now. So the show starts off as any other isekai would, This guy gets brought into this world, into a video game. You know how it goes, all this other stuff. And he's like, oh, damn, this is kind of cool. Like, oh, I got this cool, really busted sword with me. I got this ability with me. Oh, I'm golden. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to kick some ass, take some names. So he does. He gets transported to some random village. And he sees that the village is being attacked by a bunch of bandits. So what does any, good-natured, normal person do? He just goes up and murders all the bandits right away. So the first episode really sets you up for, it's like, oh, it's one of these shows. It's pretty brutal, guys. I don't know about you guys, but being a cultured individual like myself, I watched the uncensored version, and it's kind of wild, actually. It's pretty graphic. It's cutting people's heads off, cutting people in half. And right away, again, it's like, oh, this is the vibe of this show. Okay. So in the process of saving the village elder tells him, hey, man, you can stay here for a little bit. Here you can even have the spoils of the battle, since you saved us. And then our main character, Michio, actually finds out that, oh, wait a minute, this isn't what they had. This was switched out with something else. So it turns out that one of the villagers in the village actually swapped out some of the bandits' equipment for some cheap equipment that they threw in there to try to swindle him. So this gets addressed. The elder brings him to him and says, here's the actual equipment. What would you like to do with this ruffian? And as any good-natured person, again, would say, he's like, oh, I'll let the village handle it. I don't want to step on any toes here. So they do, and they end up enslaving this guy. They end up putting him into slavery. And of course, Michio at first is like, oh, slavery is terrible. That's bad. Bad. So in the process of enslaving this guy, they actually have to go into the town. They have to go into a big town and sell this guy off to a slaver, as it would be. So they get there and they sell this guy off, and the slaver is the definition of shady. Definition of shady. They sell him off, but he sees some potential in Michio, He sees a little something in him. So after they sell this guy off and get the money for it, he calls Michio back in and says, hey, I'm actually a sex slaver. That's my real profession, by the way. And I only have the most quality of specimen here. I can see that a fine man like yourself would clearly want something like this. And Michio, who is disgusted by slavery, all of a sudden starts thinking to himself like, that don't sound that bad. He's having a complete 180, because it's here that he meets Roxanne. Now, Roxanne seems like the perfect package, and she probably is. Honestly, he's instantly smitten with her, and the slaver sees that and says, oh, you like her, huh? She is my most prized slave here. I could never part with her for anything over this absurd amount of money. And obviously Michio doesn't have that. So the slaver tells him, I can hold her for a little bit for you. I can hold her for about 5 days if you want to come back and give me the money, you know. I completely feel like you are someone who can get this money in time, you know. And so Michio makes it his goal to buy Roxanne. And by this point of the show, guys, you should realize this show, we're real loosey-goosey with the morals. Let's say that. And it's pretty funny. I'm watching it like, yo, what's going on? So, for our next 2 episodes, it's Michio's goal to fucking buy Roxanne and get a nut off. He's a horny motherfucker, guys. So, you know, he does like anyone would do. He tries adventuring for a bit to try to earn some money to buy Roxanne. So he does that, and he starts realizing to himself, like, wow, I'm not getting anything for this. This sucks. I'm not going to have anywhere near as much money. And then he hears a little rumor, actually, that, oh yeah, hunting bandits, if you turn in their bounties, actually, you can get a good amount of money for them. So, what does our level-headed protagonist do? Just starts hunting bandits and literally just starts murdering them. This man turns into a straight-up murderer. I'm watching this like, yo, what is the plot of this show? He literally goes into the bandits' lair at night and, like, murders them. He's a straight-up murderer, guys. It's pretty graphic, actually. Like, if you got a faint heart, I would not watch this, actually. To be fair, it's pretty fucked up. Puts tarps over their heads, cuts their heads off, cuts their hands off, because in this world you have identity cards that are in your hands, actually, that identify you for what status you are. Because Michio has an ability to where he's able to see everyone's status above their heads. No matter, even if they hide it, he's able to see their statuses. So above all these guys' heads, it says bandit. So he instantly knows who they are, which is kind of cheap, but... So he goes in there, he cuts people's heads off to kill them. He cuts their hands off to get their identity cards. And I'm sitting here like, yo, how hard up is this guy for a nut? Like, what? This is wild. But I think the funniest part about this series is the fact that it's actually so detailed. This man goes into excruciating detail about how he's gonna do it, how he's gonna buy Roxanne, and his methods. And I'm sitting here like, yo, why is this more detailed than so many other isekai? Like, what's going on, yo? So, in the process of doing that, he is able to get enough money to buy Roxanne. And episode 4, guys, is a little wild. Let's say that. This is borderline hentai, guys. Like, yo, I was watching that episode with my jaw dropped. Like, yo, like, what? This is on TV? Like, they put this on TV in Japan? This is on TV? And guys, I don't recommend you watch episode 4 uncensored, but if I had a monocle right here, for all the cultured individuals like myself, it's as much as I laugh, it's pretty well done. Like, if you had to pick between watching an actual hentai and watching this episode, guys, like, I don't know which one's better, to be honest. This show's actually kind of well done, which is like, oh, what are we doing? And that's where we currently are right now. I wanted to put a spotlight on this show, because I checked out these couple episodes just because I heard how absurd this was, but it really is absolutely ridiculous, this series. Probably the most over-the-top show this season by far. So I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about it today. Now, like I said, it has some, I guess, some sensitive content in this show. So watch it at your own risk. But I feel like you kind of have to check it out at this point just because of how absurd it is. So that'll be it for today's episode, guys. You know, a little something different. I just want to sit and talk about this show because I was face palming so much watching it. Like, what the fuck is this? So if you guys watch it, let me know in the comments what you think, you know? The fact that it's just so detailed and so meticulous about its stuff, I think that's the funniest part. Because I'm sitting here watching other isekais sometimes, and I'm like, yo, they're not going into detail at all. What the hell? The guy who wants a quick nut goes into more detail. But again, you guys let me know in the comments what you think about this show loosely. And yeah, that'll be it for today, guys. Hope you have a great day, week, month, and year. And until next time, deuces, have a blessed day, and don't murder people for a nut, guys. Just say, don't do that. There's easier ways to do that. I'll see you guys next time.